We'll start the January 21st meeting tonight. We'll have the invocation by Commissioner Oliver, the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Firstner, then we'll have roll call. Please stand.
Let's bow. Most heavenly and gracious Father, we come to you in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. We come to you right now, lifting your name on high, praising and exalting your holy name, Lord. Thanking you so much for this day that you've created. Thank you for your creation, and thank you for allowing us to be a part of your creation yet one more day. Lord, right now as we start this meeting of the City Commission, we ask that you would dispatch your Holy Spirit, Lord, that you allow us to touch and agree upon things, allow us to come together as one commission to be able to move our city forward. And we pray, Lord, that you would just give us the knowledge, the wisdom, understanding that we would need to continue to move this city forward as well. Lord, we also ask a special prayer for those first responders in our city, Lord, that keep us safe. We ask that you would just keep them from hurt, harm, and danger as they scurry through the day and night to keep us safe, Lord, and just pray you would just a special blessing upon them, that they would continue to watch over us and keep us, Lord, and keep us safe in the city. And Lord, right now, with all is said and done, we're going to be so careful and so grateful to give you all the honor, all the glory, and the highest of praise. These are all things we do pray in the name of your Son, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Brinson?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here.
Commissioner Firstner?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver?
Here.
We have a quorum.
Okay, we have an award presentation from the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Finance Reporting, Finance Director Roberts.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. It is with great pleasure that I announce that the City of Ocoee, its finance staff, and members of the finance team have once again been awarded the Certificate of Achievement for Excellence in Financial Reporting by the Government Finance Officers Association of the United States and Canada. The Certificate of Achievement is the highest form of recognition in the area of governmental accounting and financial reporting, and its attainment represents a significant accomplishment by the government and its management. An award of financial reporting achievement has been awarded to the individuals and department designated by the government as primary responsible for the CAFR. The CAFR has been judged by an impartial panel to meet the high standards of the program, which includes demonstrating a constructive spirit of full disclosure, to clearly communicate its financial story, and motivate potential users and user groups to read the CAFR. Thank you.
Congratulations. Any, Craig, you got anything to say?
Nothing other than, congratulations, and this is what we've come to expect every year. So we're looking forward to continuing our track record.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Anybody on the commission want to say anything? Or?
Congratulations, and thank you for this award. This is wonderful being presented to the city for your fine work.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. All right, staff reports and agenda review. Craig?
Thank you, Mayor. I do have one item. During the last commission meeting, we were directed to come back and look at the cost of doing a transportation flyer that was laid out from the city commission to go to our citizens. And we went back and did some research and got a quote from the group that handles the water bills. And we got a quote to do the flyer to all of our water customers. And that came in, if you went with direct mail, at $12,621.35. Okay. Now, we also put the question to them, what would it cost to do that flyer as an insert in the water bill? And that cost came out to $1,522.50.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you that that is for a 11 by 17 insert that would be folded, which the draft document that we had at the last meeting is 11 by 17 folded. So that would work for our purposes, and that's a significant cost reduction over using direct mail. If the commission would like to proceed, you can authorize us up to a dollar amount. You currently have $30,875 in contingency. So if you went with the insert in the water bills, that would be a relatively small hit to that.
What was the amount?
$1,522.50.
Okay, commissioners.
I have a question. I have residents, some of them, I can tell you, that live in Rose Hill that do not get water. They're Orange County water. I'm sure that there's some in other districts. What does that amount to by, should I say, doing a direct mailing to them? Not direct mail. I'm just saying a actual envelope.
I don't have that exact calculated number with me. We were looking at, getting a rough idea of how much it's going to cost to do that by comparison, one method over another. You could authorize us up to a dollar amount. If we can do the remaining residences, that'll require us to do a GIS-based address mail merge, and then we just get a direct quote for that to do it.
Okay, I just don't want them to be missed, because
we
might account, it might be 500, 600 houses between all the districts.
Right.
That's what I'm thinking.
Okay, that's something we can put together.
I think, because on the north side you got some, so.
Yeah.
I think what we do is set an amount, say $2,500, that up to $2,500, and then if we need to, you can come back and tell us. So, somebody else needs to make.
Yeah, well, I guess my question is this a one-time, one-shot, once a year,
Once a year.
or what are we looking at? So is this something we need to budget for in the future, or is it,
If you want it to be once a year, I would request that you provide direction to that effect, and we will make that part of our budget,
okay?
is doing an annual update of that fashion. Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'll make that motion that we allocate $2,500 to mailing out the projects list as stated.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Commissioner Brinson for the $2,500, up to $2,500 for the mail-outs, including the ones not on our city word, and seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any more comments? No more comments. Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right, so that'll be going out soon, huh? All right. Will you let us know when it does get mailed out?
We'll actually we will send out a draft of what it's going to look like.
Oh, that's good.
Okay, all right. All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, Commissioner Oliver, Commissioner's announcements. We'll start on this side.
Nothing at this time.
Commissioner First,
Not at this time.
Commissioner Wilson,
Not at this time.
Commissioner Brinson.
None at this time.
All right, I have a couple here. State of the City. Citizens are invited to attend the City of Ocoee State of the City report on Tuesday, February 4th at 5:45 p.m. here in City Hall. A video will highlight the city's accomplishments of the last year and what's planned for 2020. The next meeting of the Community Redevelopment Agency is scheduled before the regular City Commission meeting on Tuesday, February the 18th, 5 o'clock here in City Hall. All right, one item we need to discuss, we do it every year. May the 19th is the City Commission meeting, and the ICSC Recon Conference is where we travel to, some of us, and Rob and Craig. So we need to see about maybe not having a meeting on May the 19th.
On that.
Huh?
May the 19th?
Yes, ma'am.
Hold on, let me get up there. I have no problem with,
Is that okay?
perfect with me.
Okay, can somebody make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson, we
I'll
skip.
second it.
And May the 19th, seconded by Commissioner Oliver. Any more comment? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right. Okay.
Mayor, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
It led on from what you just said. We have the State of the City, which is, let me get back to my February.
February the,
We have February the 4th at 5:45, then we have a commission meeting at 6:15.
Yeah.
But prior to that, we have that 5 o'clock
o'clock.
meeting scheduled. Are we still going to do that with the workshop at 5, with 5:45, the State of the City, then 6:15? Just want to confirm that
yeah,
that's,
that okay with
That's
everybody?
we postpone the
Huh?
workshop, maybe?
It's up to you. You guys say it.
Yeah, I could say we can postpone the workshop. Seems
You
like
want-
there may be a
We could
conflict.
push that to the second meeting
Yeah.
in
Yeah, push it.
February.
no, we
Reschedule.
can't because we have the CRA meeting, the second meeting of February, the
No.
18th. I'm just trying to organize this.
It's up, whatever y'all
What
decide.
time is the
Somebody-
CRA meeting,
y'all-
5?
It's up to y'all. Y'all tell me and we'll
5 o'clock.
bring it up to vote.
I think, I mean, I hate to say it, but I think that this is probably going to be a bad month, February, to do that. So I would like to make the motion that we postpone, not have a workshop, and how valuable it may be, but a workshop on February 4th.
Okay. All right. Do we have to post anything on that, Scott?
Not if you're going to cancel.
Okay. All right. You made that motion,
I
Commissioner?
made that motion,
Do I
yes.
hear a second?
I second it.
All right, motion made by Commissioner Wilson not to have the meeting on the 5 o'clock on the February the 4th, and seconded by Commissioner Oliver. Any more discussion? All right, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously.
So we'll start back in March.
Right, start
Okay.
back in March, first week of March.
Okay.
All right, all right. All right, public comments, I have none for this part. I have the other, that's the last part. All right. Consent agenda.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
I'll second it.
I would like to pull an item on the consent agenda, just, actually, a couple of questions on one
All
item.
right, which one?
Item number 2.
All right, we're gonna pull item 2, all right, so we got a motion for items 1, everything except 2, down through 6, is that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Second, did I have a second on that?
I'll second it.
Huh? You second?
Yes, I'll
Commissioner?
second
All right, motion made by Commissioner Firster, seconded by Commissioner Brinson for the items 1, 3, 4, 5, 6. Any more comments on them? Not, let's vote. Those items carried unanimously. Now we'll talk about 2. Approval to extend the existing contract for traffic signal maintenance. Commissioner Hall.
Actually, well, the question I have on this one is it expired already? As I was reading this, I believe I was reading that the current contract that we were piggyback on is already expired. Is that, make sure I'm
Correct.
reading it correctly?
We've been piggybacking off of the City of Maitland contract that they've been extending annually, and our goal with finance has been to enter into our own contract so we can have a 5-year contract with possibly a 2-year extension and not be at the mercy of Maitland's contract, like we are now. So that's what we're asking to extend the existing terms of the Maitland contract until we get the new contract bid and award.
Oh, but the reason I pulled this, one, I wanted to make sure that I was reading this correctly, that it had, the contract had expired, and that we were actually seeking to put a RFP out there for our own contract.
Correct.
The issue I have is this, I see a lot of things that come before us, and we have things that expire, and they happen all the time, and we have to make a decision, basically split-second decisions on, we get this one day. This, I think, is the reason we had the workshop, to actually discuss these things. And some of these things that come up, I would like more in-depth information about it. I would like to maybe sometime come down and sit down and talk to you and meet with you about these things. But right now, we're voting on something, or we put something on the consent agenda that's already expired. The problem I have is the fact that it's already expired. I would have loved to have this conversation before it expired, so I would know exactly the operational mechanisms of how this worked, just get more in-depth information about it this particular contract and to see what the company's actually going to be, when we're going to put this RFP out, what are some of the companies that would actually be bidding on this contract, and just to get more information about it. So I'm just saying in the future, perhaps, and this is just maybe for staff, that we would consider before things expire, we know things are going to expire at some point. We know things, they start at a certain time and they end at a certain time. So before they end, I would like to at least have some kind of discussion or put on some kind of agenda, or put on the agenda that we can have a discussion or at least give us the opportunity to do more in-depth information, get more in-depth information about that particular topic before it expires. That's all. So to
We're
answer
with
the
you on
question,
that,
I just want
Commissioner,
to.
and some of what led to this is we were still in the process of coming up with our own RFP. And in waiting on Maitland's, we would have to be extending Maitland's original contract if they had already done it. But they haven't done that with their contract yet. They actually have an expired contract. So that's why we're asking to extend this one.
And not to pick on you, Steve, I only use this as one example.
No
because
problem.
there's many things that come before us that's either already expired, or we have to make a split-second decision or have a knee-jerk reaction to something that we know is going to happen 6 months, a year, or 2 years in advance. That's all.
Understand.
Thanks.
Thanks.
Is that a good one?
Yes,
Okay. All right, now we need a motion for that.
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Commissioner Oliver for item 2, approval to extend existing contract for traffic signal maintenance. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously for item number 2. All right. On the first reading of ordinances on item number 7, ordinance amending Chapter 168 of the City of Ocoee Code relating to vehicles and traffic.
This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending Section 168-2, City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances relating to the collection of outstanding parking violations. Amending Section 168-4.1, City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances relating to parking of commercial vehicles on public property. Amending Section 168-5.1, City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances relating to immobilization of vehicles bearing outstanding parking citations, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing an effective date.
Is that all the reading?
Yep.
All right, this is the first reading for the ordinance amending Chapter 168. So it will come back on February the 4th, 2020 for the regular commission meeting at 6:15 for second reading. All right, did you do the item B? Did you do
No,
both?
not that. We haven't got, no, that was just A.
Okay, don't do B.
All right. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending Article 3 of Chapter 168, City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances relating to collection of unpaid red light violation notices or uniform traffic citations, creating Section 168-14, City of Ocoee Code of Ordinances, authorizing the clerk to notify the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles of persons who were mailed and did not pay or failed to appear at a hearing relating to a notice of violation of Article 3, Chapter 168, red light violation notice. Authorizing the clerk of the court to notify the Department of Highway Safety and Motor Vehicles of persons who were mailed and did not pay, failed to appear at a hearing, or failed to attend a driver improvement school relating to a uniform traffic citation relating to Article 3, Chapter 168, red light violations, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing an effective date.
All right, this will be brought back, same thing, on February 4th for the next one for the public hearing. You know, just a comment on it, I know it's not really for comments, but $71,587 and nobody's paid. We're just getting to it now. Hey, there's got to be another way. Who's in charge of that?
Our code did not previously address the procedure. I'm happy to have a representative from PD to come out and discuss it, but that's what.
Well, I
we're
mean, it
gonna
ain't gonna do any good now, but I'm just saying, and what this says to me is that we're not even gonna collect that.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That was one of the questions that I had. I was going to wait till the second reading, but
I know, but
I just want to know what was the procedures, what's the process
Yeah.
in place right now prior to this this proposed amendment?
Why is that, Charlie?
Why is the outstanding amounts. Again, that's why we're putting this in place, because we had no mechanism in place in our current code that would address the outstanding balances, and we needed to address it.
But is that, I won't say fault, whose responsibility was that?
I would probably say the citizen. I mean, we send them the notice of violation, they go through whatever process, either they contest it or pay it or don't pay it, and that's the outstanding balance. We have nothing, no mechanism to go after that balance. We didn't want to go into the lien business.
Right.
Where we're putting, creditors against them, but we wanted to affect their.
Does it affect their driver license or their other?
Not until now.
Well,
So
see,
the state.
Then no, if I'd have been anybody, I wouldn't have paid.
Well, I didn't have one, so I'm good.
Is the company that we're dealing with, I know Brad's here, but are they collecting their part? We're just not
Absolutely.
getting our part.
Absolutely, no. It's those people who are refusing to pay. We
Yeah.
didn't have we could have gone after them as a credit issue.
Yeah.
But we choose not to be in that business. So we're going after them, and we had to, so the state requires us to have an ordinance in place
Right.
that they can then, we have to send it to them, the clerk of the court, and then the clerk of the court puts the lien on their license or registration.
Right.
In this case, we're going after the registration. We
So
did
now-
not put that in place until now.
When
Now
does
we're
now
gonna be able
start?
to do
Is it
that,
already started?
as soon as you pass it.
Okay, all right, okay.
And
Hope
from
they're
that
hope they're not
point,
watching tonight.
so from that point, if they don't pay, until they pay,
Yeah.
they can't renew their registration.
Right,
Yep.
okay. All right, anybody else?
No.
I'll move on. All right, like I said, that'll be on the February the 4th meeting for the second reading. All right, item number 8, first reading of ordinance amending Article V5, Section 5.4 and Section 5-41 of the Land Development Code, LDC for residential fencing.
This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending Section 5-4 of the City of Ocoee Land Development Code relating to open space requirements of zoning districts, amending Section 5-4.1 of the City of Ocoee Land Development Code relating to fencing, providing for severability, providing for codification, providing for an effective date.
Okay, same thing. It will be back on the meeting in February the 4th, 2020 for the second reading, public hearing. All right, going to item number 9, we're the second readings of ordinances. Second reading of ordinance for Comfort Inn Mainstay Suites, 11401 West Colonial Drive and 945 Marshall Farms Road. Annexations and rezoning project. Oh. Our zoning manager.
Good evening, Mayor, Commission. For the record, Keel Gajadar, zoning manager. The item in front of you tonight is an annexation and rezoning for a potential Comfort Inn Main Suites development located specifically within 3 parcels. The annexation and rezoning is 2 of those. 11401 West Colonial Drive and 945 Marshall Farm Road. The 2 parcels, or 3, is located to the north of 50 West Colonial Drive and to the south of Marshall Farms Road, south and east. The 2 parcels are a total of 2.04 acres in size. The development itself comprises of 3 parcels. This parcel here, which is already part of the city, and then the 2 parcels that we're discussing right now. Parcel number 1 is 0.83 acres. Say this is parcel 1. Parcel 2 is 1.21 acres to the south. Current zoning. So currently, one of the parcels are part of Orange County and it's zoned A1. The other is Orange County C2 for our commercial. An aerial will give you a better view of the property. So this is the property here that's already part of the city. And then these 2 are being annexed in. There's currently a small building here. Everything else to the north is not developed. So to be eligible for annexation, the property is contiguous to other city properties. It is located within the proposed City of Ocoee joint plan agreement with Orange County. The annexation will not create an enclave. It's a logical extension to the city. And the applicant is annexing into the city in order to acquire city water. The zoning that we're going to assign is going to be C2 for both properties, both parcels, which is consistent with the surrounding area, which is a mix of C3 and industrial. And in line with the future land use, it's also going to be commercial, which is here and then the industrial here, a little bit of wetland on the property itself. The DRC met about the parcels and they voted unanimously to recommend approval. So did the Planning and Zoning Commission. Staff also recommends approval based on things I mentioned. The next step for this, right now we're just discussing the annexation and rezoning. However, next step you'll see later on, if approved, is a large-scale site plan. So right now we're just at the annexation and rezoning stage of bringing the properties to the city in order for them to be able to develop all 3 parcels into that development. And with that, if you have any questions, I'm able to answer those.
All right, anybody else up on the dais?
I have a question, but it's probably going to be answered in the next steps. Marshall Farms Road, having a commercial coming in and out of there, I gather that's going to be addressed when you do the large site plan, correct?
That's correct.
Am I jumping the gun here on that?
That's correct.
Because,
However, there will be one of the main reasons the applicant acquired this property as well is to be able to have the access somewhere right here, as well as off of West Colonial Drive. But that would be done within the site plan. You'll be able to see a more.
if there's going to be turn lanes and things of that nature.
Yes, you'll
Because
see
that's a
more.
narrow road.
Yeah, this is just annexation and rezoning. We'll bring forward the site plan once it's ready, and that will show all of that information.
That's the next step.
That's the
Okay,
next step.
just-
Anybody else?
Yeah,
Or-
I have a question. The main build, looking at this, the diagram, the main building, would it be on the back part with the main entrance coming off of Marshall Farms Road,
So-
or would it come off of
So
Highway
right
50?
now, the main building is going to be somewhere within this area here. The drainage is mitigated through some of the stormwater requirements here, so this is going to be a large buffer to the north. That was part of why they acquired that piece of property. So as it stands right now, from what I've seen, the hotel or the building itself, the structure would be somewhere around this vicinity here, which you'll see once the site plan is brought forward.
I know at the last meeting, we had just some brief conversation about the hotel brand that will be there. We talked about the Choice Hotel brand, and it was stated that it could possibly change. How can we be a part of that decision as far as the commission is concerned, or the P&Z, when it comes time to determine which hotel brand would actually be going in that space?
I don't believe we'd be able to have that choice. Or, as it stands right now, it's Comfort Inn / mainstay, but I don't believe that we'd be able
Comfort
to.
Inn. I would probably lean more toward a Comfort Inn
Yeah, it
than a
is.
mainstay, just
It is
from
a
traveling
Comfort Inn.
quite a bit. I haven't stayed at a mainstay, but just my company, we're discouraged from staying at that particular brand of hotel. But Comfort Inns, we do. I would prefer to see a Hilton franchise or a Marriott franchise there, or even an IHG franchise, but maybe that may be a discussion for another day, but
It can be, at this time, it's the specified hotel right now is Choice Mainstay.
are they currently
I'm sorry,
contracted
Comfort
right now with Choice?
I'm sorry, what's that?
Is there a current contract with Choice right now?
That I'm unable to answer at this time.
Have they provided overlays as to how it's going to look, the design? Have they
That's still in
provided that
the infant
information yet?
stages. That's why this is just for the annexation and rezoning.
Okay.
We're still working with them on a site plan and more details, and
Okay.
that will definitely come to you in the next step.
A little later, okay, great, thank you.
Anybody else? Not, I'm open it to the public. Anybody in the public have any comments on item 9, second reading of ordinance for Comfort Inn Mainstay Suites, 11401 West Colonial Drive? All right, I'm gonna close it, bring it back to the dais, and we'll have to have a vote. I'm signing before we do the vote here, I'm doing a voting conflict, so I signed the paper, I'll turn it into I won't be voting. I have a conflict on this one. So I'll sign the form and turn it into the city clerk. So do I hear a motion for
Wait,
item?
let me go ahead and read the.
Oh, I thought you did read.
No, I haven't yet.
No.
So we got two pieces of property, each one with an annexation ordinance and a rezoning ordinance. So for the property 11401 West Colonial Drive, annexation ordinance, this is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 1.21 acres located on the north side of Colonial Drive, south and east side of Marshall Farms Road, and west of McGuire Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for an effective date. No, we just need we'll just do them one at a time, a motion on the
All right,
annexation.
I'm going to open the public hearing again real quick for this item, second reading of ordinance for Comfort Inn, Main State. No comments, I'll close it, bring it back now. I need a motion for item A, second reading of the annexation ordinance.
I make a motion to approve the annexation.
Motion made by Commissioner Furston, do I hear a second?
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any more comments on that? Let's vote. With me abstaining. Motion carries with 4 votes, with Mayor Johnson abstaining. All right, I need a,
Let's read the rezoning ordinance for the 11401 West Colonial property. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County C2 General Commercial to City of Ocoee C2 Commercial, Community Commercial on certain real property containing approximately 1.21 acres located on the north side of Colonial Drive, south and east side of Marshall Farms Road, and west of McGuire Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
all right, same thing, open the public hearing. Anybody for item B, second reading of the zoning ordinances on Comfort Inn, Main State? Not, close it, bring it back to the dais. Do I hear a motion?
I make a motion to approve the rezoning.
Motion made by Commissioner Furston. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Wilson for rezoning. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Y'all vote. Motion carries 4-0, the mayor abstaining.
All right, the annexation ordinance for the second piece of property at 945 Marshall Farms Drive. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, annexing into the corporate limits of the City of Ocoee, Florida, certain real property containing approximately 1.17 acres located on the north side of Colonial Drive, south and east side of Marshall Farms Road, and west of McGuire Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner. Finding said annexation to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, the Ocoee City Code, providing for and authorizing the updating of official city maps, providing direction to the city clerk, providing for severability, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for an effective date.
All right, I'm going to open it to the public for this item. No comments. I'll close it, bring it back. I need a motion.
Make a motion to approve the annexation.
Motion made by Commissioner Furston.
Second.
Do I- Second. Oliver?
Second.
Commissioner Oliver. Any more comments? If not, vote. Motion carries 4 with the mayor abstaining.
All right, last one. This is the rezoning ordinance for the property at 945 Marshall Farms Drive. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, changing the zoning classification from Orange County A1 Rural Agricultural to City of Ocoee C2 Community Commercial on certain real property containing approximately 1.17 acres located on the north side of Colonial Drive, south and east side of Marshall Farms Road, and west of McGuire Road, pursuant to the application submitted by the property owner, finding such zoning to be consistent with the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan, providing for and authorizing the revision of the official city zoning map, repealing inconsistent ordinances, providing for severability, providing for an effective date.
All right, same thing. Open it to the public for anybody have any comments on this item. Not, close it, bring it back to the dais. Anybody make a motion?
Make a motion to approve the rezoning.
Motion made by Commissioner Furston. Do I hear a second?
Second.
Seconded by Commissioner Oliver. Any more comments? If not, let's vote. Motion carried with 4 with the mayor abstaining. All right, we're going to 11 now.
10.
Thank you very much. We'll move over to item 10, I'm sorry, fixed to skip one there. Second reading of ordinance for amendment to the capital improvements element for fiscal years 2019, 2020 through 2023 to 24, capital improvements program. Program
you, Mayor.
Director Rumor.
Yes, sir, Mike Rimmer. This is a process in which we adopt the capital improvements program, which was approved under the budget. We are, by ordinance, making reference to this 5-year capital improvements plan to be adopted into the comprehensive plan. So it's an amendment to the comprehensive plan, but because it's adopting the capital improvements program, the 5-year capital improvements program, state law says you just adopt it each year by ordinance as reference. And so developers, if people want to look at your capital improvements program, they can go and look at the ordinance and then look at your budget. So a normal amendment to the comprehensive plan, you transmit the proposed document up for state review, get comments. Just on this process, you bypass it all and you just adopt an ordinance. So this ordinance relates to adopting the capital improvement program into our capital improvement element of the comprehensive plan. And it's done for 2 readings of the ordinance. So there's no change. Your capital improvements program that you adopted as part of the budget, we're just simply putting that table in an ordinance to be seen by the public and developers. So.
Okay. Need to open this up for the public. You got something to read?
Yep, I do. This is the second reading for the capital improvements element ordinance. This is an ordinance of the City of Ocoee, Florida, amending the Ocoee Comprehensive Plan as adopted in 1991, as amended in order to comply with Section 163.3177 Florida statutes, amending the capital improvements element of the comprehensive plan, providing for severability, providing an effective date.
All right, we'll open the public hearing. Anybody in the public have any comments on item number 10, second reading of ordinance for amendment to the capital improvement? All right, no comments. We'll bring it back, close it, bring it back to the dais. So I hear a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion made by Commissioner Wilson. Do I hear a second?
Second it.
Second by Commissioner Brinson. No more comments? Let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right, thank you, sir. Moving down to the regular agenda. On this item, before we do it, I have a citizens, Eli Sahab. Who's that? Okay. Is that pertaining to the one on number 11? Okay, well, you'll have to wait then till we get through with this, okay? All right. Item number 11, approval for Ocoee Youth Council to attend the 2020 Legislative Action Days Youth Program in Tallahassee on February 11th through the 12th. Is the coordinator here, Dillard?
No,
someone's here for
she's not able to make it tonight, Mayor. She's not able to make it tonight, Mayor. Ocoee Youth Council member Christine is present and going to present this item and answer any questions you may have.
All right, commissioners.
Good evening, Mayor Johnson and City of Ocoee Commissioners. My name is Christine Mavis, a representative from the Ocoee Youth Council, here to give you an overview of my experience so far as a member of this council and how excited we are for the upcoming trip to Tallahassee for the Legislative Action Days on February 11th and 12th. First, I'd like to start with the Florida League of Cities Annual Conference for Youth Councils. The OYC members attended this event on August 17th. We were one of the 27 youth councils represented at the conference of over 100 young people. At this conference, members were able to discuss a variety of different topics with kids with differing perspectives. I got to partake in the Cleaning Up Your Community discussion and was able to walk out with many ways we can help effectively promote environmental regulation policies. It was a true learning experience. Next, on December 12th, we participated in the City of Ocoee Christmas dinner for families in need. We helped Santa with pictures, distributed toys, and helped with cleanup for community service hours. We enjoyed participating at this event. Seeing all the children with bright smiles on their faces as they claimed their gift or took a picture with Santa filled up our heart for service. We had a great time helping others, and we look forward to participating in any future service projects that will help us embrace the values of citizenship and service. At our last OIC meeting in January, we met with Police Chief Charlie Brown and his staff to discuss ideas to partner with the police department. We provided several ideas on how to help young people get more comfortable with police and the police department. We discussed some of the activities that the police department are involved in that we had no idea they were doing. We talked about partnering with the department on their school supply drive, and we plan to come up with ideas to minimize speeding in our local neighborhoods. This brings us to our upcoming February activity in Tallahassee. The Legislative Action Days will give us the opportunity to explore policies and politics. We will be able to meet our district legislators, visit the Museum of Florida History, stand in the Supreme Court, and learn about different city municipalities and what they have to offer. A tentative agenda for the 2 days is in your packet. This event will benefit us educationally as we will explore the historic city of Tallahassee and all it has to offer. We will get a glimpse of how municipalities function. By learning about today's leaders as well as the past, this experience will help shape us to become the leaders of tomorrow. The hotel, transportation, parking, and food is estimated at $1,100 for the 3 of us and our chaperone, Ms. Dillard. We are here to ensure that we have the dollars necessary to attend this civic educational day. Thank you for your time, and do you have any questions?
Anybody got any questions?
I do. Not a question particularly. I think it's a great program. I'd love to see you when you were there with the kids at the Christmas event. It's great. I just wish you could get more kids,
Yeah.
involved, because it's such a wonderful program. I love when I go to Florida League of Cities and see the other cities come with large groups of kids, and I know it's a growing process. But I'm very pleased to see you there and working, and I hope we see you at the Spring Fling.
Okay, we'll try our best to attend that event.
Anybody else?
I'm gonna add a little bit to that. Since our last meeting, I have 4 new diverse applications for the Youth Council that will be turned into Melanie, hopefully, should be next week, or what's today, Tuesday, maybe the end of this week. But we actually have those, they're members of the junior ROTC from Ocoee High School. We've also came up with a plan, working with the middle school, the principal of the middle school, Mr. Roberts, to start targeting the eighth graders going to ninth grade. There is a open house where the eighth graders go to the high school. We will be there advertising the Ocoee Youth Council to the eighth graders going into ninth grade this year. Actually, I think it's March or April this year we'll be doing that. So we should get more applications as a result of that drive.
It's a growing process, but
Growing process.
probably need to work at what they're going to do during the year so that it goes into the budget
Yeah.
for these trips. But no,
Absolutely.
it takes time.
Yeah. Well,
Go ahead.
I would like to applaud you and the rest of your youth. I spoke with Ms. Dillard before on this, and I think it's wonderful that when you bring great opportunities and civics together, you build good citizens and future leaders, as you mentioned. And I echo everyone up here saying that it is imperative that you continue to do what you're doing, because oftentimes youth won't listen to adults, but they will listen to their peers. And you guys are doing what you're doing. You're speaking volumes. You're speaking very loudly to your peers, and you don't even know it. So I would urge you and encourage you to continue down that path. Maybe one day you either sit up here or at the captain of industry or at CEO or C-level somewhere. But this is important, and I hope you get how important this is. But I really do appreciate and I am impressed by because it's not easy speaking in front of a microphone. And you look a little nervous, but it didn't sound like you were nervous. So good job.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Good job.
Thank you.
Good representation. All right, I need a motion. I need
I'll
a
make a
motion
motion.
for
I make a motion that we approve item number 11 for the youth council,
$1,100, right?
$1,100.
Well, is it
Do I hear a second?
second?
Second, motion made by Commissioner
I think there
Oliver.
was a question.
Wait a minute.
Well, I have a
We need
question.
to approve where the money's coming from.
Well, we gotta prove it first, then we'll say where it comes from.
Okay.
Well, do we have to make
Let's
sure
prove
we
it
have
first. It'll come out of consent agenda. All right, motion made by Commissioner Oliver, no. Commissioner Oliver, right?
Yes.
And then seconded by Commissioner First.
Should he say come from contingency?
I'd
Yeah,
say
for
contention,
Yes.
contention, consent.
Well, I would amend my motion to add that the funds be taken from the contingency.
There you go. Second. All right, motion made and second. Any more comment?
I have a comment. Did this amount change at all? Were they adding parking fees or something to this?
It's all, that's what they figured
They added
the
a
cost
parking
is.
fee of $40 to it.
But is that inclusive,
That's
included in this?
$1,100.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
Yeah, because it said
Let's-
here, I think parking car, rental car.
Yeah, let's
I
vote.
think it's everything.
okay.
I thought.
let's vote.
Oh, sorry.
Motion carries unanimously. Did a good job. Got money. All right, and I go back a while ago, also on this thing, it says here, state to you what by vote I was saying, I don't know, I never heard him say that before, but I'll tell you, I was on the listing of that, and it's no kin to me, Mr. Johnson's property, guy that sold that for the hotel. I was one of the people that had that listing, but I'm not kin to him. One of the people, I wish I would have been.
I have a funny feeling you.
Different Johnson. All right. I got an item here from Mr. Eli Sahab. Say it. Come on down. Are you the young man that does the entertainment stuff for us? I thought so. Come on down.
How's everybody doing today?
Great.
I'm Eli Sahab, the owner and CEO of 40 Kids Entertainment. I'm happy to hear about the Youth Council. You know, that's very exciting to see that we're doing things for the youth in the community. I also do things for the kids and the youth. We actually launching our first program. It's starting this Sunday, January 26th, and it's going to be every second and fourth Sunday at the Coventry Park.
Where?
Coventry Park.
Coventry.
So with that program, we have personal trainers. We have 5 personal trainers that's going to be there with the youth and the kids from ages 3 to 17. And with the personal training, it's going to be different workshops. So the kids going to get training on basketball, football, baseball, soccer, and I'm happy to see the new tennis court that you guys built up there. And we're not really asking for too much. We just would like to support, and also we would like to know all the resources that you guys have for these kids and the youth, because I've been going around to different neighborhoods just getting parents' opinions and seeing, what do they think about us doing that, and they love it. Last year we tried the program. We did it for 6 weeks. It was tough because, we was doing it for free. Also, we put a donation price to the program where the parents will be paying $15 each session, and that money will be going back to the program. And also, if we have, if you guys need any donations for the youth council, maybe on a Sunday we'll put a certain percentage or something back towards whatever we can do to these kids and the youth in the community. The reason behind why we're doing this is I grew up in Ocoee, and I seen kids from 10 years ago and seeing the direction they're headed. And they not really, it's not that they don't have, they're smart kids, talented kids. They just don't have the right direction. We're not putting the things in front of their faces. And I have a nephew myself that's, they go to Ocoee High School. I graduated from Ocoee High School, the first 4-year class. And I believe that we need to put these things, because if we let these kids keep going down the wrong path, they're going to just find themselves getting in trouble. Before they get in trouble, I feel like we can stop them. And the reason why we're doing it from the ages 3 to 17 is because it starts at a younger age. I have a 3-year-old, I have a 6-year-old, 8-year-old, and I take care of my 15-year-old nephew. And you just see through the process of the things they're not learning, and not saying that, you know, my family's bad at training my nephew, but, you know, it's a lot of kids that don't have a father or a mother, and I do a lot of stuff in the city of Orlando, but I told myself, man, I got kids in front of me that's really going down the wrong path. Actually, at the park that I grew up at, I seen kids, you know, they spray painted up the courts and stuff, and that's just not how we was raised, and that's not things we don't tolerate that stuff. So I just want to see how the city of Ocoee would like to support this program. I know I mentioned it to Commissioner Oliver, and I just want to see how you guys can support. We need sports equipment, water, refreshments, you know, so whichever way, anything will help. Right now we got Texas Roadhouse that's willing to help. We're going to reward these kids that's working hard. They're going to be giving back gift cards and gifts, free kids meals for the kids. We have a DJ that's going to sponsor every event. And also what we're going to do is we're going to record every session just so the kids can see the improvement of, you know, a lot of things. It's like we can catch memories, man, and it's good to see where you started from and where the progress and where you're headed. So not really too much. That's really what I have.
Okay, all right.
And the name of the program is called Fit for Kids. So it's fit for kids, and it's not just for sports and stuff, but it's also going to help them with their social life. We're going to teach them how, you know, to handle their emotions. And, you know, we speaking to each of the coaches that's helping out to just know, you know, hey, we're mentoring the kids, but we're not throwing mentor in front of their face. We're actually going to build these relationships with them. And we plan on doing extra stuff in the program as it grows. But right now, we just want to start with something.
I think it's a good thing. I know we dealt with some things with you before, so what you need to do is, I guess we're going back to doing those programs, Rosemary. So maybe you go to our community relations lady and find out about the different ones we can put money in for money.
Okay.
And she can tell you how to fill out the forms and stuff and put in. There's different ones you can get donations from or awards through. And so Joy at the city.
Okay.
You know, it is community relations, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Community relations department. Go talk to her.
Okay.
And she'll tell you which thing to put in for.
Okay. Sounds
All right.
good. And
Just to add to that, I think you may have some good timing, because I did had a conversation with the president of Advent Health in Apopka, and he's actually looking to do some partnership with the city with some type of health fair.
Okay.
We didn't know, we have not quite figured out what it would look like.
Yeah.
But there is interest from Advent Health to do some type of health fair. We talked about maybe senior citizens, maybe youth. So this may be a perfect opportunity to partner with Advent Health, and maybe bring the city in as well as a co-sponsor. So let's get together and see what we can come up with. Give Joy a call, give me a call, and let's see if we can get a meeting with the president of Advent Health and see what we can come up with.
Okay, and I just want to bring this to your attention, and I appreciate y'all. Just one more thing, the bounce houses that you guys, it came as a big help for us, and we want to do whatever we can to help the kids in this youth. So we thank you guys.
All right, we appreciate it. Thank you very much. Yeah, that's what it was, the bounce house.
Bounce houses, yeah.
All right, we have Maggie Linden and Chad Hallmark. Come on down. 1031.
Good evening, Mayor and Commissioners. My name is Maggie Leiden. I'm the event director with 1031 The Wolf.
And I'm Chad Hallmark, the marketing director from 103.1 The Wolf.
And we're here tonight to talk about our annual Barbecue for Blue event. We're looking to utilize Bill Breeze Park for this event and have the fee waived to be able to do that. It's an event that we've created to honor law enforcement, first responders, and all of their families. It's free for all of them to attend. We don't take any money from anybody for this event. Everybody that participates is a volunteer. And then anybody else that comes that's not a first responder or law enforcement or family, we ask they make a voluntary donation, and that benefits the Wounded Officers Initiative.
That it?
Do you have any questions about the,
I
we've
think
done the
it's a great
event.
thing. I know.
Yeah, we've
Lieutenant-
done the event for 3 years in Ocoee, and we've partnered with the Ocoee Police Department for that event. So we're looking to continue that partnership with the city and the Ocoee Police Department and do our 4th year, our 4th annual Barbecue for Blue here at Bill Breeze Park.
That says the 4th annual barbecue for Blue at Bill Breeze Park, February the 29th. What time does that start?
11 to 2.
I could read, I guess.
That's okay.
And so what you want is to use it for a
To
donation
utilize the
from the
park.
city like we did last year.
Correct.
This is for mostly the police department and stuff. Okay. Do I hear anybody say we can let them use it for the,
Yeah, I'll make that motion.
Huh?
I'll make the motion that we,
Commissioner Brenson makes the motion, we let them use it for the free,
I'll second that.
seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Any more discussion?
I'm assuming the park is free.
Huh?
I'm surprised, I'm assuming you've already booked the park.
Yes.
That's why they're here. 'cause
I
of
know
you.
that, but I just want to make sure they have actually booked the park. I
We've
mean, that would
penciled
be-
it in on the calendar with Mark.
You're on the calendar, okay, just
Yeah,
just checking,
They
okay?
told me they had
Yes.
to come here and bring it.
I realize that, but I just, it's nice to know that you've already booked it, okay?
Yes.
All right, let's vote. Sorry you had to wait, but we do this at the end now.
That's
So,
okay.
Motion carries unanimous. You got it. All right?
Thank you very much. I
Thank you.
appreciate it.
We'll talk to you later. All right. Comments from commissioners. Start Commissioner Brenson.
I have none?
Commissioner Wilson.
Just want to remind everyone to please put on their calendar that the Spring Fling will again be held March 28th in Bill Breeze Park. And again, it's a fun event. It's educational and fun. And we're in the process of planning all of our activities. It'll be from 10 to 2. And just put on your calendar because it's a fun thing. It's a free event, which means everything is free, from hot dogs to having face painted. So we hope that folks will come down, enjoy the event, and learn some more about Ocoee and different programs and different facets that are open to them. We hope to have a lot of educational events for you.
What's the date?
March 28th.
28.
So we've got the Shred Fest that will be held on the 14th, and then on March 28th is the Spring Fling. So there's a lot going on in March. And thank you to Support Services for the MLK Parade and the program we had. They did a great job, so thank you.
Commissioner Firstner.
I'd like to make the suggestion that the workshop the next one will be March 3rd. For the topic, I would like to discuss the Forest Lake Golf Course. I think that may be timely, and we can get a lot of information going back and forth for it. So if there's no objection, we'll put that on the calendar for the next workshop coming up.
Yes, sir. We can be prepared.
Okay.
March 3rd.
March 3rd.
Yeah,
All right. That's it.
that's it.
Commissioner Oliver.
Yeah, just got a couple items. One, had an opportunity to go out and visit with a couple of residents, Eric and Chelsea Romano. They live in Arden Park North. They actually bought their home from Lennar Homes. I received the email from them last week, and I stopped by to have some conversation with them, so I wanted to get a visual of what that email was about. Basically, what's happened is they bought their homes from Lennar Home. They bought a premium lot, and on this premium lot, they paid a premium price, and under the contention that there will be no homes built on the side of them, which I guess the north side of their home, which was actually identified as Greenland. However, this was actually in phase 3, I believe, 2 or 3 of Arden Park North, and when they started to build phase 3 of phase 4, they noticed that they were clearing lots off next to their homes for 3 additional homes. So, come to find out, this issue here is not just isolated to just this couple. there was issues with other couples and other residents along the entire street. Similar issues where something happened where the design had changed, something changed in the design during the process of building. So they put the deposit on their home, their land, and start building the home. And then for whatever reasons, something changed, and then there was homes being built in Greenlands that should not have been there. So right now, they have an issue where they paid this premium lot for this home, and now there's 3 additional homes going there. They never had the opportunity to withdraw because the house was already built, and they'd already paid the deposit, and they were moved into the home, and now there's additional homes being built there. So what the issue that I have with that is, this is a partner, this is a builder, a developer that we've partnered with in the city to build a very, very, very large community. And if we have residents that's actually having this issue, I need to know what can we do as a city or as a commission to say, how can we get some type of dialogue open to Lennar Homes to say, hey, what happened? I'd like to know what happened first. And then how can we prevent this from happening in the future? I think Eric is here tonight. I know he didn't sign anything to speak, but he just came to sit down, and we did have some great conversation yesterday about this. And we need to know how can we, because we still got phase 6 to be built as well. So we'd like to know how can we go about getting a letter sent to Lennar on behalf of those citizens to at least to get some answers as to why did this happen, how did it happen, and how can we prevent this from happening in the future?
You have any comments?
No, other than, obviously, I'm just hearing about this, so we can, I don't know enough about the situation to be able to opine from up here on what we think the problem was. That should be fairly easy to resolve, the process. Mike is still here. Mike, do you want to come down and respond to that? Because Mike saw it through the final site plan process and can probably speak to that specifically better than I can.
Yes, well, the only land that's protected that is around the lake. There was no other protected lands in the subdivision. We don't know, obviously, how the sales team sets up their sales contracts, but we certainly have Lennar coming back to the table to develop phase 6. They are presently getting ready to start phase 5. So we have the ability to reach out to them and have these discussions, and we can set up.
Okay.
I'll be happy to set up that meeting.
Eric, is it okay if I get you connected with the city manager, have some conversations, see how we can actually open up a dialogue with Lennar Homes to see if anything can be done for your situation, and also how we can prevent this happening moving forward?
Yes, there is a provision not related, it's going to help with this case, but when you have residential adjacent to commercial, that they have to acknowledge in the sales program that there is commercial on the other side of the property. So we can look at something like that in a large subdivision that maybe there's a provision for what lots are considered premiums adjacent to a retention pond. But if it's exterior type of a setup, then check with the city of Ocoee on, a note that goes in their sales packet if they're going to pay a premium on a lot, just to make sure because you hear that all the time. I was told nothing was ever going to be built.
If you can get with Mr. Romano,
I'll get with him right
we
now.
can
Yes, sir.
start some dialogue, and I'll follow up with you on that and see where that goes as well.
When they come in for final, there's obviously some conditions that we could put in there that could prevent something like this from happening within reason. Our attorney would want to weigh in on that, I'm certain.
Yeah, I think you're right. We could add conditions of approval, just a disclosure for lots that back up to another phase, that they're going to be adjacent to other lots or whatever. So we could certainly look into kind of as a policy, including that as part of the plan, comments to the plan. But, at the end of the day, this is really an issue between homeowners and their builder. In this particular situation, we're not, the city's not responsible for for making disclosures to homeowners. That's, this is really an issue between the homeowner and their home builder. We can help kind of going forward if this is a common concern of putting conditions in the plan approval. And I think Mike has said he's, willing to set up a meeting with Lennar to have him come in and explain and see if we can make sure that doesn't happen in this community in the future.
Well, is it their property they're building these other lots on beside you? Is that what it is? Is it their?
Yeah, it's the next phase.
Next
Well,
phase?
it's actually part of the phase. Basically, when they bought the property, they bought it on one contingency that they wouldn't have any neighbors next to them, that it was actually be green land right next to them, and they bought it on that premise. But however, something changed.
Well,
a few months down the road after they moved in, something changed, and now there was 3 other additional homes being built there. So
that happens.
they paid one price for their home, for their land, but the neighbors right next door, just to the south of them, paid half the price. They paid a premium price for it just not to have a neighbor next to them. So now there's neighbors there, and they paid that premium price, and then the houses going next to them are probably going to go for even a lower rate than the ones to the south of them. So it's just a situation that I can understand why they're disheartened by that, and can't get any answers from Lennar. I can understand being disheartened. I can understand being upset by that.
Yeah.
I would.
Well, the same problem happened, and you dealt with it, and I dealt with it in Windsor Landed on the north side, south side of town. People bought the property behind them. They were told they'd always have the lake view. Well, they can tell them anything, buyer beware. But they turned around and built houses there. So, it was like they come to us, and we went out, they cut the trees down, did everything, and all of a sudden they got these huge houses back there. But they didn't have, it's like most salesmen, they can tell you anything they want to tell you. But, that's what they did there too. They did the same thing. They built these houses in the back of the property, and they had a lake there. Now they don't have the lake view.
Yeah.
So they paid higher prices.
I think we might have.
I think there might be a way,
Yeah.
being they've got something else to do.
Yeah.
We can't say
At least have some conversation and say,
but they got to come back to see us, so.
In
They
Lease
can-
Express, we don't, that's a reflection on
Yeah,
Ocoee, so we
no,
don't.
we
it's not
can see if
acceptable.
we can help you talk to them. All righty?
yeah, got 2 more items. One, the Black History Committee of Orange County, they're having their annual Black History dinner at the Rosen Hotel February 15th. And they sent a letter to the city, see if you're interested in getting a table. I was interested in, as opposed to getting a table, maybe about 6 tickets for anyone on the commission that wants to go to that event, as well as maybe open it up to HRDB, see if they're interested in going to that event, and see if we can actually purchase 6 tickets for that event, and to see if they've actually been having this event for almost 20 years now. See if we can get that on in our budget. We'll probably talk about that next budget cycle to add that item for Black History Month celebration. So I guess I need to see if we can get a consensus to maybe purchase 6 tickets.
What's the price?
I think the tickets are $100 a ticket. $100 a ticket, yes.
Any commissioners' comments?
You said this is a city of Orlando or the county?
County.
County.
This is an Orange County event.
What I would say is maybe 2 tickets. If anybody on the commission wanted to go, we'd say, yeah. I'd say, a couple of tickets, for commissioners, if a commissioner wanted to go, So,
I would like to attend the event myself.
I can't. I've already got something committed.
I mean, we'd just say 2 tickets, and
15th
you
of
can go to,
February 15th, correct? That's what-
February 15th.
Yeah, I'm already
February
committed.
15th 's a function at the high school too that night.
Where it is.
So I gotta go to that
I've already got.
awards thing, so.
Yeah, I'm unavailable.
Does HRDB have a budget that if they wanted to go, they have a budget, the money that's given to them every year? That's something that As in all the boards get a,
I think that's a good question.
I mean, if they want, I'm just saying they want to attend, that could be a,
They have very little money to do things like events. That would have to be added on.
don't y'all get like $2,000? Doesn't every board, I know that Parks gets, I think, $2,000. I thought every board got $2,000.
I'll have to
If I'm
double check
correct
that
in
and
the
get back to
budget.
the commission on
I'd
it.
have to go back and read it again.
Well, we
but,
can check on that, but does anybody want to do you want to vote on 2 tickets or?
no problem with 2 tickets. I
Yeah, 2 tickets would be all right. Table, it's a little much.
2 tickets?
I mean,
Somebody needs to make a motion.
I'll make the motion.
okay, I was gonna say,
Motion made,
go on.
motion made by Commissioner Oliver to purchase 2 tickets for the Orange County Black History Month, February 15th. Do I hear a second?
Second?
Seconded by Commissioner Wilson. Let's vote. All right, check with Sherry.
I got one more thing.
All right.
This is quick. Ingham Road, we talked about the Auden Park North, along Ingham Road, all the way up towards McCormick, or at least towards the next subdivision, which would be Bryn Mawr, the Bryn Mawr community. There's no sidewalks. I'm trying to figure out, is there going to be a sidewalk added there? I've been seeing people walk at night along the side of the road. There's actually some lighting, but there is no sidewalk at all. And I'm wondering, if we're building out this massive community, but I'm just wondering if there's going to be a sidewalk on Ingham Road going towards
There has to be one in
McCormick.
front of it. We don't have to do past it or
On the
for it,
side of
right,
it.
but there'll be
Code
one in
requires-
front of it.
In the front of it. But
That's
there's
part of
not
the-
one on the side.
That's part of the regulation,
Okay.
right?
So,
Craig?
The land development code requires, we require sidewalks as part of
Front of it.
residential communities.
Good.
so I'm just wondering when it's going to happen. Is it going to be in phase 5, phase 6? I mean, because phase 6 is going to be way on the other side, but the sidewalks are needed on the west side. So phase 6 is going to be more toward the east of the
See,
development.
the east side,
Yeah,
are they
but
over there
then
yet?
the sidewalk is over,
Right.
is what's being needed right now at phase 3 and 4.
I'm certain there's a plan for that. Mr. Rimmer, who's probably outside talking to the citizen right
Okay.
now, can address that. But we have identified all those sidewalks, and, you're going to be seeing more as we get closer to the budget season for some of the improvements, and then we're still tracking what's going to happen with the ones at sales tax. But we actually, the land development code requires a certain extent. I'm sure Mike or Keel can quote the exact extent that the code requires the sidewalks put in, but nobody gets out of their sidewalks here. So I'm sure that's part of a planned phase. Mike can tell you exactly when that's expected to come in. And,
Yeah, because I would like to hit those
Yes.
communities right there along there, and just at least let them know that there's a plan and it's coming soon. And
Absolutely.
If I can get that, I'll talk with Mike and see if I can
Absolutely.
get that information, and I'll start getting the information out to the HOAs.
And that's, part of safe routes to schools too. We have to have adequate sidewalks and pedestrian access to bus stops and things like that.
That's all I have.
All right. Well, I don't think I have any comments, except I will tell you that up on the south side of town, from the Highway 50 back, the apartments is where the sidewalks at. We have no sidewalks anywhere heading downtown from those apartments all the way down to right about where the firehouse is at, I think, close in there.
Yeah, they're very, I was
Yeah.
noticing that, they're very.
So we don't have any there either, so
Did you notice?
that's in the future too. As we do those developments, we'll put those sidewalks in.
Maybe we can
Bluford opened, you might want to mention that.
Huh?
Bluford opened.
Oh, it did last week.
Yeah, I know.
I know. Yo, just to let everybody that's watching TV does not spread the word, Bluford is open. Highway 50 in Bluford is open.
That's where I noticed the
Please
sidewalks that
get
you
off
mentioned.
my other intersection.
That's where I noticed the sidewalks, and at one time we had talked about very quickly, see if OCPS would help do some sidewalks in there, because they have to bus the kids, I think, from
Yeah, that's
the
one of the
Oasis.
problems, because-
And so, and I was noticing the very intermittent sidewalks
Well,
in places, but that's until
to-
things get developed.
That's a thing too, that they pay mitigation, and I think when they built those apartments, they paid $3 million to the school board in funds. And the school board should have had to put out some of that money for those sidewalks, because what that was is money going to the school. Nobody ever addresses that, but to me, it's a function of their taking the money and putting it downtown and not doing what they ought to be doing. But they took $3 million from those guys come in for those apartments, and not one sidewalk got put up from them.
That's
So I
probably
think,
something we need to address with them.
Yeah, because that's, that, as I say, that, they're busing kids, I believe, from.
yeah, and then they're the ones telling us, I was told by one of their people that, oh yeah, y'all don't have sidewalks for them. I said, well, you got the money.
Well, we were, that was a discussion at one point, talking if OCPS would come in,
Yeah.
involved in that, and we haven't heard any more, but, I mean, everything takes a little more time.
I think we need to send them a letter about that too, and address the issues. Everywhere we do these homes going into mitigation for, just like on the north side, especially with all this building going on your guys' area, they're taking that money for the mitigation for these schools,
And there should be sidewalks.
and not putting
Yeah.
in sidewalks.
Absolutely.
Just,
There will be kids walking to school.
Yeah.
Student safety.
It is, it's
all right.
scary.
No more comments? Anybody have any more comments?
Nope.
All right, see you in, next 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
Couple,
2 weeks.
I have to turn my page in the
Wait.
calendar, sorry.
Motion,
Yeah, 2 weeks
2 weeks.
before.
My page in the calendar.
turn the break.